These days, movie adaptations are king. Comic books, novels, plays, toys, all fodder for the film industry to scoop up and cash in on. While these cinematic makeovers have worked out before, there's one source material that has failed to succeed in movie form: video games.
What do you think I am, stupid?
Video game movies are a huge backstain on the film and game industries alike, with every release making it seem like Hollywood is running out of ideas and games are too cheesy and illegitimate to make good movies. From Super Mario Bros. To Assassin's Creed, these adaptations have spent decades flopping and sullying the name video game movie. We could sit here and give you the top 9 worst video game movies, but that'd be like counting down the top 9 weirdest shaped animal turds. No matter what form they take, you don't need to see them, because they all stink anyway. Instead, we're going to get to the bottom of why these movies fail. Hey everyone, I'm Dave Control with Arcade Cloud, and we've got the top 9 reasons why good games make bad movies. Number 9, because not everything needs to be a movie. People often use the phrase, "it's getting a movie," as though movies are an end goal to be worked toward, like platinum The Last of Us, or earning the approval of your significant other's mean dad. In truth, some things weren't made as movies, because they don't need to be movies! Right now as we speak, there's a film in development based on Tetris! There's also talks of potential Asteroid, Centipede, and Fruit Ninja movies, all games that have zero movie-like qualities. These franchises are fine as games, but have no right to be movies, or, to put it in Tetris terms, no matter which way you spin it, some pieces just won't fit. The best example of this from the past year is the Angry Birds movie. Angry Birds is a fun app, without a doubt. Everyone and their mother enjoyed playing it on the toilet for several months, but no part of Angry Birds screams, "this would work even better as a movie!" Sure, there's a loose little story about the pigs stealing some eggs, and the birds have cute character designs and bright colors, but those alone do not a movie make. If we develop movies based on cute character designs, we might as well just make an emoji movie. Wait, what? Wait, they're doing what now? Ugh! Studios should just realize that getting a movie is not validation of a franchise, and that sometimes an app you play on the toilet is beautiful just the way it is, just like what you just dropped. Number 8, because they make easy genre choices. If you look at all the video game movies we've had so far, there's a noticeable preference for horror games. Doom, Silent Hill, Resident Evil, Blood Rain, Alone in the Dark, and House of the Dead. Five Nights at Freddy's has also been tapped for film. In a weird way though, we get it. It should be a direct line from horror game to horror movie, right? Just keep the monsters and the scares and you're good. That's the easiest defense on this entire list. There is one issue though. Whoever said that easy was good. These are the lowest common denominator of adaptations. They assume that the game will pretty much work as a movie as is and don't take the effort to convert them. Doom, for example, was criticized for its lack of plot and originality, and Resident Evil was considered formulaic and cheesy, aka everything that happens when people act out a video game. Then there's the fact that 3 of these films were created by Uwe Boll, who had no idea what he was doing. Just try watching House of the Dead. Trust me. There's a similar trend with fighting games turned movies, like Street Fighter, Double Dragon, and Mortal Kombat. Each were diagnosed with horrific dialogue and shoddy plot construction.
You're alive. Too bad you will die.
Again, symptoms of a haphazard translation. These movies all tried to take the easy way out, and, well, it shows. Although I actually like the original Silent Hill and Mortal Kombat movies, so fight me. Number 7, because they misinterpret the source material. Super Mario Bros. Need we say more? Alright, we will. Rule number 1 of adapting a franchise from one medium to another: stay true to the source material. Creative liberties are fine, sure, but they shouldn't change the premise of the original work. Some examples of fundamental changes: adapting Toad from Cute Mushroom Man into Street Rocker in need of a haircut.
Hey, wait a minute, you can't arrest a guy for just singing a song?
Adapting Bowser from Dinosaur Turtle into Dennis Hopper in need of a haircut. And whatever it is that they did to Goombas. Who greenlit this? The Super Mario Bros. Movie is the poster child for this issue and the worst offender. However, it's not the only game movie to botch an element in translation. Remember how the brothers in Double Dragon are scared to fight anyone, even though that's all they do in the game? Or when Prince of Persia cast a white dude as its lead? Or how about when Assassin's Creed used a Kanye West song in this trailer? Yeah, none of those movies sat well with fans either. Number 6, because translating CG to live action is weird. It would take days to go through everything that's wrong with Super Mario Bros., but here's another one of its bigger problems that it shares with other movies. Why was it live action instead of animated? Mario games are vibrant, bubbly, and cartoony. Besides Mario and his posse themselves, nothing in these games resembles anything from the real world, although Super Mario Odyssey is getting closer to that line than ever before. Yet here we are with realistic dinosaur Yoshi. This is an odd adaptation side effect that happens to cartoons turned movies all the time. If you take a cartoon property, like Scooby-Doo for instance, and make it live action for the big screen, then it never feels right. Ever again. bad CGI monsters and people acting like cartoon characters galore.
Monkey.
We've seen it before with Super Mario Bros., and we'll be seeing it again very soon. Sonic the Hedgehog and Detective Pikachu are both getting a live-action hybrid treatment, and we're expecting the worst. I can't believe I'm saying this, but these movies should go the Angry Birds route and at least resemble the look of the original game. Otherwise, we'll soon be watching a 3-foot-tall blue hedgehog run around with realistic-looking people, and we all know how well that went last time. Looking at you, Sonic 06. Number 5. Because video games are bigger, let's take a look at how long the campaigns are for some of the best story-driven games of the last decade. BioShock Infinite's story takes about 12 hours to beat. Last of Us is about 15 hours, and Mass Effect 2 is a whopping 25-ish hours. That's a full day's length of Mass Effect. Video games have long stories by design, so when you take a narrative that long and try to condense it into a full, comprehensible 2-hour movie, it doesn't quite fit. Assassin's Creed games usually take 15 to 23 hours, but the movie is just under 2. That means a lot of exposition and explaining rather than actual plot or action. Then there's World of Warcraft, which is an expansive universe that took years and years and games to develop, and one movie to explain all of that. Books have the same issue. That's why Harry Potter split its final installment into 2 movies, and why Lord of the Rings has a director's cut where characters have all new, all different death scenes. It's also why books have found success as TV shows, a la Game of Thrones, rather than movies. More time to unravel all the details of the universe. Games should take a hint. Like, remember when the Fox box was airing Kirby Right Back At Ya, F-Zero GP Legend, and Sonic X? Leave a comment if you remember those shows. Number 4. Because their stories weren't good in the first place. The most successful games don't often sell on story alone. No one who ever played the original Pac-Man knew or cared why a hungry pizza was collecting pellets and fruit and fighting ghosts. Super Mario Bros. Plotline was stomp turtles, save princess, but all that is okay because in most cases, a good game doesn't need a good story. It just needs good gameplay. A movie, however, is a different story, literally. In most cases, movies can't get away with having just one style of action that repeats without much character development or changing stakes. Exception, Mad Max Fury Road. That means they need to add all kinds of shit just to make the plot work. They're making a Tetris movie that's being designed as a sci-fi thriller. What part of Tetris has ever screamed sci-fi or thrilling? Then there's Prince of Persia or Lara Croft Tomb Raider, whose plots feel very game-like, but without all the fun of being able to control them. It ends up feeling like watching someone else play a video game with cutscenes that everyone talks over anyway. Number 3, because they try too hard. Some of the newer video game adaptations, like Need for Speed and Assassin's Creed, made valiant efforts to be authentic, good movies. They really tried. They each nabbed some high-profile stars like Aaron Paul and Michael Fassbender. The Assassin's Creed movie used real locations and did real stunts to keep the film from using as much computer imagery as the games. Need for Speed tried too, even lifting up a real car with a real helicopter. They get a gold star for the attempts, but in the end, it didn't really matter. Unfortunately, behind-the-scenes gimmicks like these aren't enough to make the actual movie exciting. One of the more common complaints about Need for Speed is that it's too long or just plain boring. The movie is called Need for Speed! How did they mess that one up? Assassin's Creed faced similar criticism, and it's because both spent way too much time trying to be the video game movie that validates video game movies in their production that they forgot to be fun movies. They took the leap of faith and missed in spectacular fashion. Number 2, because they don't need to be good. Did you guys know that there are 6 Resident Evil movies? I know, it's easy to lose track considering none of them have numbers in their titles, but there are 6, and between them, they're rocking a 27% average score on Rotten Tomatoes with a range of 21 to 34%. So if this horror hexology is so scary bad, then how did it end up with so many movies? Like, did anyone notice that they weren't good? Well, spoilers. The studios aren't making these movies because they think they're good. They're making them because they gross over $1 billion. The same is true with the recent Warcraft movie. It was clobbered by reviewers, but it made over $400 million worldwide. Movies like these have shown studios that video game movies don't need to be good, because as long as they're recognizable, people are gonna show up in droves and see them anyways. It's the same philosophy that keeps Transformers in business. If you've got name recognition and a built-in fan base, you don't need quality. Number 1, the video game movie identity crisis. Video game movie is an ugly phrase. We all know it. I can feel the hair on the back of my neck stand up just from saying it. But it's a misnomer in a way, because most video game movies are not about video games. In fact, there are a handful of movies that are about video games that are great. Wreck-It Ralph is one, Tron is one, Pixels is... Even Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a solid cult classic with video game-based elements. The film industry isn't biased against video games, and it's shown through these movies that there are ways to depict the fun and feel of a video game on the big screen. The difference between these movies and video game adaptations is that these movies have actual identities. They're not confused about whether they're a video game or a movie, the way most video game adaptations are. That's the most important lesson of all. Stop trying to make video game movies and start making westerns, action-adventure comedies, animated slapsticks, and for all of these movies that can't get past the video game movie label, maybe we need to round them all up into a support group and have them read the bad guy affirmation.
I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me.
There you have it, our top 9 reasons good games make bad movies. What do you think? Do you have reasons that we didn't mention? List them in the comments below. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you want to see new videos from us dropping weekly. Also, leave a like on our Facebook page, the link's in the description. See you next time.